Hey, before we start with the main video, I would like to thank you the following companies for their support. They support me through the YouTube membership program that I created for companies who care about software testing and are active in supporting the testing community. Thank you once again. If you want to learn more about the supporters, check the video description down below to find the links to their products. If you miss your logo on this page, follow the QR code or send me an email. Happy testing, and now back to the main video.
Hey community, it's me Daniel here. I'm happy that you're here today for another round of community questions. And there was another brave software tester out there in the world sending me a question in a video format that you can see in a second. And it's again Eric with a really great question, and I bet many of you may still struggle with the same things, and I'll try to answer Eric's questions. But first, let's listen to Eric.
Hi Daniel. I'm Eric Jacobson. I'm a quality engineering manager, and one of the products that my testers are testing is a global e-commerce site. We go to production globally every week, and when we do the production deployment, we run a set of 140 Selenium checks in production as part of our post-deployment smoke testing. The problem is those Selenium checks often have false positives. So what is a good way to make sure that those Selenium checks are healthy and there's no false positives when we do this, when we run them in production? I'll add just a little bit of context, which is these Selenium smoke tests are owned by development teams. There are 10 development teams all contributing to a big monolith e-commerce site. So out of those 140 smoke tests, handfuls of them are owned by testers that are embedded in each of those 10 development teams. Anything you can tell me, I would love to. Anything you can tell me to help. Thank you.
So, who can relate to Eric's problem? Flaky test. First of all, I think some of you or many of us have seen this issue not only in production environments, but especially also on testing or staging systems. So flakiness is a big topic here. And Eric, as we just heard about it, has a problem with his Selenium checks running in production. Which is cool, to be honest, that you're doing that, Eric, to run your tests in production. Not the full set, I get it. So, but it's still, you know, you do some post-release checks in an automation manner, and that's really cool. So now to your problem. I mean, without talking to you, and I can ask you more questions, I'll try to give an answer of the things that I would check and do as the very first steps. I mean, and the most obvious ones, I bet all of you are thinking right now of it, is like analyzing the flakiness, right? So what is causing the flaky tests? Is it something that you can see? Is it something that you can always reproduce? Are always the same tests flaky or not? If this is the case, that's good, right? So then we can start to debug, to analyze what's the root cause for the flakiness. So in that case, I will talk to the teams who are owning those tests and do some code reviews with them. See if they have like any bad patterns or using no patterns at all. If they have some code smells in it or things like that. So really debug the tests, and as we all say in the testing community, treat your test scripts and the things that you are implementing in an automation manner the same way as you are treating the production code. So really take your time and analyze what's going wrong. In case you don't see any patterns, you may use the page object pattern or any pattern that can be adapted to your needs. So that would be my very first thing, analyzing, right? To see, is it always the same test that is failing or tests that are failing? Yeah. Second thing that you could do is like, are the tests that you are seeing to have the flakiness in production also flaky on another system, like on a staging system or test system? Is that the case? then okay, you can still go back to my first suggestion, do the debugging stuff. If not, if the tests are running, let's say, more stable in a test or staging environment, then you might have a configuration issue on production system. So you have to go and dig deeper and find out what are the differences from the staging system to the production system. For example, are there any like third-party integrations on the production system that can cause a different behavior on the web product that you would like to test? Or is there any, I don't know, data configuration or hardware configuration that can cause a different behavior on the system as well? So this is also something I would check. Another thing that you could, I mean, it's similar to the very first thing of analyzing the things, like check if locators, for example, are stable. Use unique identifiers to identify the UI elements on the screen. But I think you have done that already. So this is kind of like, yeah, I know, this is this kind of fashion way, but still check if you have specific labels that you use also on the production system, and if this is a way to check. Also, one thing that's coming to my mind that can cause different behavior, but since I don't know like what are you checking actually on the production system, it's hard to judge. But test data. Are you using any specific test data on production system that might change or that might be different in any kind of fashion? So check the test data as well, for example. Another thing that's coming to my mind, have you checked different browsers? Is it a flakiness always in the same browser or in different browsers? Is it only flaky in a specific browser configuration? Is this something that you can see or relate to? Or are you using in your it's not a test production environment, a test environment anymore, but how do you access basically the production environment? That's what I wanted to mention. Are you using any cloud providers? Maybe through a specific browser configuration that may lead to that change, maybe network latency or anything that can delay requests and responses. So this might be a thing too. And the last thing that I could think of to at least to try out to minimize the flakiness and to identify or to go deeper in an analyzing phase. And to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of it to use like weights, like implicit, explicit or fluent weights in Selenium to see if that changes something in the way your application is behaving on production, and so that the test can wait for some milliseconds for the application to be ready. Maybe your tests are too fast or your application is too fast and your tests are too slow. So this could also be something that you can check up on. Yeah, so these are really quick ideas that are coming to my mind that you can do in order to get rid or like to identify the flakiness and things. And if you cannot really see like what's the root cause of it, and you mentioned that there are like a handful of tests or a couple of tests or like have this flakiness. How about you isolate those flaky tests if they're always like the same ones, if you can see that, and deactivate them for now on the post-production checks on the smoke testing, because it's better to have less tests running on production that are like really stable and give honest and good qualitative feedback to your teams, so that teams can really rely on the test, and they really also have the trust in the test. That's important. And then you take the time, do some more research. Why is it the case? Or maybe you can just like isolate the tests and give the task or like the things that are tested or checked in the test script to another person that never implemented a test before, and see what he or she is coming up with. Maybe that solution is much more robust and stable, so you can try out little things, right? So that's my answer to your question. I hope you can find something based on my answer. Let me know down in the comment below. I really would love to hear what you have come up with, what was the solution or what was the problem. And I think many of you out there as well would like to hear the solution from Eric. And yeah, I hope that was a good answer for you, Eric. Let me know as I mentioned before. And also, if you out there have a question specifically to me and that would be of interest to others out there in the testing community, I would love to hear your question too. And with that, I say, as always, Thank you. Like it, subscribe it, and share it with the community to spread the word. Recently, I got so many great feedback from you, so really thank you for that one. That's really helpful for me to improve things and to see that I'm on the right track and the right path of providing the correct videos for you. And with that, have a great day, a good night, a good morning, whenever you're watching the video, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.